Something else. Here is cold though. You know how cold -20 is? My dear, you don't want to know. It is cold. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chimeichia, and I'm here with another video. Before we start today's video, can you go subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed? Make sure you click that post notification button so you can get notified every single time I post a video. Share this video to like everybody, and let's get started. Also, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking, and yeah. So for today's video, I don't know, I'm taking a dramatic pause. Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience when I lived in Nigeria and my experience now living in Canada and what the difference is. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video because I'm enjoying making it. So before we start this video, I just want to say this is my own opinion, this is my own experience, this is what I have gotten from like living in both countries so far. You might be living in a different part of Nigeria and a different part of Canada and you might disagree, or you might even be living where I'm living and still disagree. At the end of the day, it's my experience. That's my opinion! So no one should get like in their feelings because of it. This is my experience, like what I got out of it, okay? So now let's start the video. So my number one major difference I saw was the housing size. The houses here in Canada are so small compared to Nigeria. Like the houses are small, like small. And when I came to Canada at first and then I saw all the houses, they were all like packed together, so small. I'm just like, what is this? What is happening here? The houses, usually they have like a small backyard or something like that. I guess that's why they have like a bigger playing ground or a big park for the kids to go like hang out at. But in Nigeria, at least from my experience, most people have their own like big backyard or like a little thing behind their house where people can just like go play, or maybe they plant stuff. And so that's like something that I found really interesting, because I'm like, why are the houses so small? They have like a really small backyard, like where the kids play. Then I saw the big park, I'm just like, oh. So if you're moving to Canada and you're from Nigeria and you're expecting to see the same sizes of houses, you won't see it. So the big houses in Canada are like very expensive. So if you're making like good money, that's when you can buy a big house in Canada with like a large backyard or something like that. But for the most part of it, the houses are actually so small. Something else about the houses that here people mostly buy houses, they don't build their houses. Like from my experience in Nigeria, most people build their houses. I guess today with the changes happening, more people might be buying houses, but from my experience, most people just like build their houses. So they buy the land and then they build the house. Also over here, you don't have to have all the money to buy a house. So if you want to buy a house, you just have to have like maybe 10% or like 5% or whatever, depending on like your credit score or whatever, to buy a house. You don't have to have like the whole money. But in like Nigeria, I'm not quite sure about what mortgaging looks like back in Nigeria, because like I said, most people just buy their houses. Most people just build their houses, they don't buy it. So I guess that's why mortgaging might not be like a very common thing to do in Nigeria. So that's like my number one thing that I noticed. Number two, animals. Here in Canada, people treat animals like kids, and that was very surprising to me. Like when I first arrived, I was on the bus and I saw a dog on the bus, and I'm just like, what is happening? Why is the dog here? Why is the dog on the bus too? But over here, it's something that's very common. I know only specific animals can be on the bus. No, you can't just like take your animal. I think usually it has to be a guide animal that you can take on the bus, like take into stores and stuff. But when I just arrived and I didn't know the animals could be like everywhere, literally, I was really surprised. I'm like, why is the dog here? And it's so funny because like I went into like Walmart and then I saw the dog, like I saw dogs walking around. I was like, wow, very interesting. And they even have like a dog park here, like a park that mostly dogs go to. I mean, obviously they go with humans, but you go there and you see a lot of dogs. I'm just like, wow, these people value their animals like their pets, like no tomorrow. And also here, if you want to travel with your dog, you can get visa for your dog. Visa. That just blew my mind. That just blew my mind that you could travel with your pets and you can get like visas for them and stuff. Because at least from my experience back in Nigeria, I didn't have pets, but for the people that had pets, usually you don't travel with your pets. You know what I mean? And over here you have to like take them like to see the vet quite frequently, not quite frequently, as frequently as you should. I don't have a dog, I don't have a pet, so I don't know how many times, how often you should take them. But here you actually have to take them there frequently, and if you fail to do so, there are consequences. So another area I experienced culture shock was in the area of relationships. And when I mean relationships, I don't mean like dating relationships, I just mean relationships with just like people in general. Like over here, if you just like walk up to someone and you start talking to them, it's very weird. Like I know in Nigeria you can just be standing and someone just walk up to you, auntie buy this, auntie buy that, you know what I mean? It's not weird. Or someone can just like start talking to you about something. It's, at least from my experience, it's not weird, right? Because there's so many people all around, and then someone might just be trying to sell you something. Like it's not weird at all. Obviously you're meant to like not talk to strangers and stuff, but if you're like an adult, depending on like the situation, it's not weird for like a random person to just start talking to you. But over here, if you start talking to someone, it's like, why are you talking to me? Like, mind your business. Everyone here is so polite. Any small thing they say sorry. Everyone is so polite. They mind their business and they don't talk to like strangers. If you just like start talking to people, people will look at you as a weirdo. That's something I noticed here. Like obviously I wasn't going around talking to everyone, but I quickly noticed that in Nigeria you could easily just like start talking to someone, but over here if you just like start talking to someone, they look at you as a weirdo. Except you have like a question or something important to say. If you're just like striking up a random conversation trying to be friends, tread lightly. I won't say don't do it, but tread lightly. And still talking about relationship, personal space is a big thing here. Over here, people respect personal space so much. If you walk too close to someone, if you stand too close to someone, that's weird. Except if it's like in a crowded place, like in a train station where there isn't like a lot of space. But even at that, you still have to maintain a little bit of personal space. You still have to give people their space. And if you hit someone, or if someone hits you, someone's like, oh, I'm very sorry, oh, I'm very sorry. And I know somewhere like Nigeria, if it's crowded and someone just hits you, it's not really a big deal because there's a lot of people, everywhere is crowded, right? But over here, even if everywhere is crowded and you hit someone, they still say sorry. Canadians say sorry for every single thing. Even if they almost stepped on you but didn't step on you, they're still gonna say sorry. So over here, if people are just telling you sorry, 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 it's not weird. It's like totally normal, which is something I found very surprising. Another thing, taxes and insurance. Here, any small money that enters your hand is going to go out. Somehow it's going to go out. Like, I'm never talking about you enjoying yourself.
Where's all your money gone, Daddy?
Taxes. 9, 10, 11. Let me fix my houses.
But it's okay. It's part of the game.
No, it's not.
It's
not fun.
It's not fun to what?
It's the worst part of the game.
Oh, it's what?
You pay tax on every single thing, and you pay insurance on every single thing. For example, I know in Nigeria you also pay taxes like VTA. I mean, obviously you pay taxes off your income, but I mean like things like VTA. So VTA in Nigeria was, I think it was 5%, now it's 7%. Here, our own version of VTA, which is HST, is 13%. Can you imagine buying something of $1,000? You now come and pay an extra $130 on top. And usually it's never like just 13%. They always find ways to add small money on top. So instead of just paying $1,130, you end up paying like $1,200 for something that was costing $1,000. If you buy a house, you have to pay property taxes every year. And there's always one tax or the other that you have to pay. Even for healthcare, you're also paying, if you're making a certain amount of money, you start paying towards healthcare as well. So it's like you just pay taxes on every little thing. Apart from taxes, you pay insurance. In Nigeria, if you buy the car is yours. So the insurance is optional if you want to get it or not. Like, you don't have to get insurance, right? But over here, as long as you're driving a car, you have to pay insurance on that car. If they catch you driving a car without paying insurance, that's trouble, because then you're going to receive demerit points, which is just something in your driver's license. So it's like if you get to a certain number, they take away your driver's license, and then you probably have to pay a fine. So you have to pay insurance, and if you want, you can also pay house insurance still. But I think the house insurance one is optional. You don't have to pay, but the car one, you have to pay car insurance, and then you have to pay into the health insurance as well. So there's a lot of things you have to pay insurance into. Rent here, oh my gosh, it's so high. In Nigeria, you can get like a good apartment for a year for 300,000 naira. 300 to 500,000 naira. But I'm not talking about in Lagos, because I know Lagos the prices will be so different. But I'm talking about somewhere in like Uyo or Port Harcourt. You can get like a good apartment for 300,000 naira to 500,000 naira, right? I'm gonna put the equivalent on the screen. But over here, for that equivalent amount, you cannot get a good place for a year. For a year, for you to get like a good place, you should be looking at paying like $10,000 for a year, which is crazy. So here, rent is expensive. So if you're coming here, prepare your money. Like, except you don't mind and you can stay anywhere, but if you want to stay somewhere comfortable where you have your own space and stuff, you need to prepare yourself to pay a lot of money. The last thing I want to talk about is transportation. Transportation here, or the road in general, is so different from Nigeria. Here there's like a stop sign everywhere. Like everywhere you go, if you drive your car for like 2 minutes, there's a stop sign. 2 minutes is even too much. There's a stop sign everywhere. And I don't mean traffic light. Traffic light is different. I mean stop sign. You just have to, if you get there to that spot, you just have to stop. Even if there's nobody on the road, you still stop. And like the way people obey traffic laws here is crazy. Even at 2 a.m. in the morning, if you're at a stop sign, you have to stop. But another thing is, here they have like cameras. If you're at a stop sign and you don't stop and there's a camera there, it's going to take a picture of your license plates, and then you're going to get fined and you're going to get demerit points. But also there's like speeding cameras, right? So if you speed past like a traffic light, for example, you know how it's like green and then turns to yellow and is turning and it's about to turn to red. If you just like zoom past when you could have stopped, they're going to fine you and they're going to give you demerit points. So here people actually obey traffic laws like there's no tomorrow. Like everything here is so serious when it comes to like traffic and stuff. And another reason why they obey so much is because they have to pay like car insurance, right? So if something happens and you get involved in an accident, your insurance money just skyrockets. If I didn't mention before, insurance money on cars is not even cheap. So maybe you're paying like $300 to $400. You get in an accident, you start paying like $600 to $700. So no one is trying to get in an accident. And in my personal experience, I feel like it's easier for me to go to different places over here than in Nigeria, because here everywhere is mapped and then there's like a consistent bus schedule. So there's always a bus running during the time it's meant to run. So you can check ahead of time, or even if you're stranded, you can just like check when is the next bus, like how long do I have to walk to take a bus to go to this place to get back home or something. So here it's so easy for you to just like move around to different places. But like I said, area I live in, the bus schedule is consistent, but I've heard that in certain smaller cities the buses are not as consistent. Like they still run, but maybe one after every 30 minutes. But where I live, there's a bus like after every 5 minutes or something. So I guess it depends on where you live. In Nigeria, the bus system was not really good. It was almost non-existent, right? And then if you get missing, you have to depend on people. I know now certain places, or a lot of places, are being mapped, but still really confusing. And even if you know where you're going, you have to walk because the bus system is not reliable. Here it's not reliable, but it's a lot better than the one in Nigeria. Something else I should add that I find weird is the fact that over here you can call your professor by their name. So I was in class one time during the introductory class. The professor goes, "Hi, I'm just going to use a made-up name." The professor said, "My name is John James, but you can call me John." I was like, "I can call you John? Like, who can call you John? Like me? The students? Like your colleagues? Who is calling you John?" And at first I'm just like, yeah, maybe it's a joke or whatever. So even when I go to office hours, like when maybe you had a question or you needed feedback on something and you go see your professor, lecturer or whatever. So one time I went to go see one of my professors. I'm like, "Hi, good afternoon, Mr. James," or something. I'm still using John James. "Good afternoon, Mr. James." The guy goes, "Oh no, you can call me John." I'm like, "Oh, good afternoon, John." And then he goes, "How are you?" I'm just like, this is so weird, because in Nigeria, if you don't call them with like Mr. or Doctor, then their last name, then you're being disrespectful, right? But over here, people prefer if you call them by their first names. So that was another major thing for me. So there's a lot of things here that I have found like very weird, very different from back home. Well, it's still small, you learn. Something else, here it's cold though. When I was in Nigeria, tell me, "Oh yeah, winter is cold." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure if I wear a winter jacket I'll be fine." Even when you wear a winter jacket, you're still cold. It is cold in this place. like very, very cold. It gets as cold as -20 during the winter. Do you know how cold -20 is? My dear, you don't want to know. It is cold. So there's still a lot more. I might do a part of this video if you guys like this one. But thank you so much for coming to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Make sure you share this video to like all of your friends and even people you don't like. Just share it to everyone. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.